It's that time again. Are you ready for the next episode of Love After Loss with your host, Arlethea Dupree-Jones, where we'll discuss faith, relationship, and how to navigate through your grief to discover your journey of joy, peace, and strength. Tune in now for Love After Loss with your host, Arlethea Dupree-Jones.
This kid. Hey everybody, listen, we are back. I know y'all miss me. I know I miss y'all too. Listen, we are back for Love After Loss. Oh my goodness. It feel like it's been forever. But I'm so thankful to be back in the studio, to be able to just unwind and just chop it up with you guys. God is so good. He has been so good. And I know there is so much happening, but I want to say to you today that I am so thankful that that God allowed us to come back together again to be able to have another episode of Love After Loss. So much has happened in these last few weeks that I was not able to be here live. I wanted to always just be live with you all in the studio. I did not want to pre-record. I wanted to actually be live with you. So I'm just thankful for being able to be right back here on a Friday night, a little bit after 7, but it's all good because it's my show. We can do what we want to do. All right. God is good. All right, y'all. So listen, tonight we are going to talk about how to manage and how to navigate through our grief. Oh my goodness, so much has been going on in the world today. I've had family members just recently that have passed away. I've had people that have contacted me that have been going through just different kinds of uh, sadness and grief in different kinds of ways. Losing not just loved ones, but those who have lost their jobs, those who have, can be real with you, are lost pets, for real, lost a pet. Like, it's been real. It's really been real these last few weeks. And so I just truly want to encourage you on tonight, let you all know that God is still God and He is still real and He still has your back and He is still the comforter. But as we are going through, as we are going through, and you are going through this time of your life, I want to encourage you and bring some hope and some love and some life back into you during this time of your life. Tonight, I have a special guest. And she is one that can truly talk about grief. This is my spiritual daughter. I am so excited to have her here with us in the studio. And I want to introduce you all to Anisha Thomas. Yes. So, hey, Nish. All right. So, listen, look, we have been talking about grief, and I know you are someone that can truly talk about or share and help. That's what I want to say. Help somebody um, from experience.
Yes, ma'am.
In the with this place of grief. Grief has come your way back to back.
Yes,
You know,
ma'am.
I know that I can share a lot of my story, but it's so many others out here, and you are one of them that truly have um, again that experience of back to back. So welcome to the show, and
Thank you.
and you can go ahead and speak on something that you can be able to help somebody on tonight.
When we talk about grief,
Mm.
it comes in many forms, like you said earlier, and we talked about how it came back to back, and it did. 10 years, I lost my father. 5 years later, I lost my brother, and then 4 years after that, I lost my mother. In about a year and a half or so, and grief, if you don't grieve the right way or know how to grieve the right way, it could take you out.
Yeah.
It really can. And learning to grieve, um the Christ way, the way Jesus teaches us
Mm.
to grieve, it has literally saved my life.
Mm.
Because I believe, if if I didn't know who Jesus was,
Yeah.
if I didn't have that relationship with him, which is even more important, that I think I'm almost sure
Mm-hmm.
that I wouldn't be sitting here with you today.
Yeah. 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 So let's go back 10 years ago. So 10 years you lost your father.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, was that the same place you are in God now that you lost your father, that you know how to grieve the way you grieve now? What's the difference between how you grieve then and how you grieve now?
Good question. The difference is
Yeah.
because where I am now is a totally different place than when I was 10 years ago.
Okay.
Learning to grieve. When I lost my father, it was a devastating loss. It
Okay.
was all of a sudden. He went to the hospital. The next day, he passed.
Mm-hmm.
Was not expecting it. So my train of thought was different. My mindset was different. Um, the way I interacted with God was different
Mm.
because I felt like you took my dad. Like if I biased, I needed my dad.
Okay.
My daddy and we were like this. So I felt like, God, you took my dad. And it really wasn't him. Once I learned, it really wasn't him taking.
Mm.
Um, it was. It, everybody has an expected time, has an expected end,
Mm-hmm.
and it was his time.
It was this
It
time.
was his time. I had comfort in knowing that my dad was saved.
Mm.
That was the comfort.
Okay.
But knowing it was the hurt behind it. I think it's because it was sudden.
So it still hurt, even knowing that he was saved.
It
It
still
still hurt.
hurt.
It's because you're human.
Right.
Humanity caused us. It hurts. I think a lot of times we think, or people can think that because we're saved, because we know God, that we have a relationship with Jesus, that we don't hurt.
Right.
When although we know that we have expected time of death, we know that something going to happen, one day or the other, right? It still doesn't feel good.
Exactly.
It still does not feel good, right? And so we have that, God, for real? Like, because you feel like, oh, right? Even in that moment of you being saved, you knew he was saved, right?
Yeah.
But that you had, what was the same kind of people around you? Like, how was your life structured when your dad passed, your brother passed, and your mom passed? 'Cause they were all different phases of your life, right?
Yes.
So break those three down of where you were as Anisha. Where were you in those three places?
When my father passed, I could say I had a relationship with God, but I didn't have that relationship with God. So it made a world of difference.
Okay.
Um, I I pray. Yes, I prayed. Yes, I read my word. Yes, I was involved in church. I was involved in ministry. But at the same time, that relationship, that closeness that
Mm.
we have now is totally different. It's not a place I would want to go back to.
Mm.
When my brother passed, his passing was a little bit different because I knew he was going to pass.
Okay.
After he had 6 strokes, he was to the point where he didn't know he was here. So it was just a waiting period. It was just a waiting time, a waiting period um, to when he was going to pass.
Okay.
So my relationship with God was opportunity to, when he had the ability to hear and to speak before he transitioned, actually gave me an opportunity to tell him more about Christ, to offer him Christ, because to me, if he was still here, that means he could still hear.
Mm.
So
That was
I
good.
would read the word. So my relationship with God at this point is changing for. So I'm at the point where I'm able to read the word to him.
Mm-hmm.
My brother started off Catholic. That's how we were born and raised.
Okay.
He went to being a Muslim. Then his friend told me that he had been talking to him about Jesus, and he was starting to open up his heart. So I took that as my opportunity to witness to him even more, to talk to him even more, to actually offer him Christ. If he accepted Christ, I don't know, because he couldn't answer me. He was nonverbal, so at this point, only thing I could do is offer Christ and just pray that in his heart that he received them.
Okay.
When my mother passed, I was in a totally different part of my life. At this point, I had transitioned to a different ministry, to DMHC, under your leadership, and started learning some different things and started to gain an even deeper relationship with Christ. And saved, seeing the things that she went through, seeing the conversations that you or her had, seeing some things were just, to me, was just amazing how she was baptized right in the car. Like things like that it changes your mindset. It changes how you think about God. It changes your relationship with God. Like God, you can baptize in the spirit. Like wow. Like okay, God, I see you working. And she's and you're asking her, do you accept Jesus? And she's like, on the way to the hospital, she's like, yes. She's adamant, like, yes, I love Jesus. I know who Jesus is. So that was even more of a comfort because you're able to actually hear them verbalize it and able to see it. And it's a lot different when you have that even deeper relationship with him, that one-on-one relationship with him, where sometimes you're quiet and he talks, and then he talks and you're quiet. So and you're still able to speak for that person. So it's, all three were very different.
And I think about sometimes, talking about your mom. I didn't know your dad or your brother, but just meeting you and knowing where you were when I met you, when it was your mom. You going from being very vibrant, she was very da-da, and then it's like going, slowly downhill, and so, but she still understood who God was. Like she still acknowledged Christ, and so that did something that was it changed the dynamics of your thought process of what you could hear. So it was like a bittersweet type thing. So after she's gone, you have to go through this moment of grief. Okay, so again, we are here. So you talked about how with your father you didn't have the same kind of mindset. With your brother you were growing, but it wasn't the same way. But now you're here with your mother. You have a pastor. You have a church family. You're in there, like you're now committed to Christ.
Yes.
Not your will, but His will be done.
Yes.
That's when you say you had a relationship with Christ, but the difference between knowing of God and knowing God.
Yes.
Is very different. And when you submit yourself to Him, and you have to now learn, you become really a babe.
All over again.
All over again. It's real. You're now born again, and you are of the water and the spirit, right? And now you're a babe, and so you're learning how to now go through life in every aspect that you did before Christ.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. So it takes. I'm gonna tell y'all on my end. We need some patience, honey. Patience is for people. Listen, it's okay. Patience is real. Okay. Because I believe that when your mom passed, it wasn't just you dealing with the grief of your mom. I believe it was everything just coming at you at one time.
Yes.
And so I'm dealing with all of these different things
right
that you
with me.
right. And I'm like, okay, so now you have somebody with you to help you to go through. How does that work? So what's the importance of that?
The importance of it is because now I don't have to hold everything in. I can come to you, I can release what I'm feeling. Even if it's not a verbal release, I can write it down, I can send it to you. I'm able to get it out of my system. Because when you hold that in, it does something to your mind, because you're not, I'm going to say for me in the beginning, it's almost like you're not physically here sometimes, and your mind is shifted off to the left where it should be. If God is saying, I need your mind to stay straight, focused, but when you don't have that person to release to, that person to pray for you, most importantly, do, because what you did was you really prayed, not just me, but my family. Seeing how my family responds, seeing how they respond to God, it was totally different. Being able to even share with one of my aunts made a total, I've never done that before.
Yeah.
So that made a difference. And because she's I love all my aunts. I love all you guys. But I'm just gonna put it out there. Aunt Tony was the one.
Yeah.
Aunt Tony held me down. You held me down.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have that person, those people in your life, it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
And most importantly, you have people who are following Christ, who hear from Christ, who have a relationship with Christ, who are able to guide you even at a time where you want to. And they're like, no, but let's go this way.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't want to go left right now.
Yeah,
I just want to go right. But when you have that strong person in your that's there and they're literally taking you by the hand, like, no, let's go.
No, I said get over here.
Right.
No, get over here now. Right. One. No.
Okay.
Okay.
It's important.
Yeah.
It really is.
And it's love. It's love. A lot of times I think sometimes people think that, is she okay? Is she human? But I am. Yeah. I just understand that it's important to hear God. I know how far by hearing God for each individual. I know when to let you cry and when to say, okay, it's time to finish. Come on, are you done? Mm-hmm. Come on over here. Yeah. I know when to respond to you. I know when not to respond to you. I just know I have learned you because I have a relationship with Christ. And so he helps me to navigate. So you have to have that person in your life to be able to know how to handle you.
Yes. Because everybody can't do that.
Everybody cannot handle you. Everybody cannot have. So it's important to have that person that has a strong ear. Yes. Which is a sensitive ear to God to hear on your behalf. And I know, sometimes it's, you feel like, well, I may not have those people. You might say the same thing, whatever. However, you have to have that person. Right. Have that person in order for you to make it through it healthy, effective. You have to be able to be in a place where you have that positive person that you can be able to speak to and get not just advice, because advice is not for everybody. Everybody's situation is different.
Right.
You have to have someone in your life to be able to truly hear God.
And they hear God, mm-hmm. They know you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's like you said, it's when I needed to cry,
yeah,
I could do it.
Yeah.
And when I needed to suck it up and let's go,
yeah,
I was able to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's because of that strong person that God has put in my life.
Yeah. And let's talk about that. Because when you said to suck it up and just keep going, that doesn't mean suppress it.
Right.
That doesn't mean that you overlook it or you try to hold it in. It's about knowing timing, knowing where it's taking you, knowing why you're crying. If it's about a bad situation or a angry situation, I'm not letting you go there.
Right.
A true person that loves you are not going to allow depression, mm-hmm. not even step on the ground of it. Don't even step on the curve of depression. How do you do that? By allowing them to cry in anger of I hate God, or I'm mad at God, and mm-hmm. no. We're not stepping on that curve. All right, we're not stepping on it or off the curb. Okay, because you might get hit by a car. Okay, and we're not doing that.
Exactly.
Because like you said earlier, if you don't grieve properly, it can take you out. And that's so real. And so when you love people, you help them to know how to release it, how to manage it. Okay,
Yes.
that's really good to know how to manage it. Again, you cry, you have your moments, but
You don't
you
stay there.
don't stay there. You
Yes.
cannot stay there, because that staying there now will cause the enemy, even if it's the inner you, all
Yep.
right, either the enemy himself or the inner you, to start talking, and now you are starting to dwell in a place that you should not be.
Yes.
All right. A lot of times people will have good times and bad times in their relationships. The enemy's job is to keep you in that place of the bad times. And he'll keep you there sometimes, and he'll make it roll in your head,
Mm-hmm.
and it roll in your head, and that's not a good place to be.
No.
All right. And so it's important to just, and you have to know that.
Yes.
I had to learn you and find out where you were. You know, it's almost like when Jesus said, when God said, I'm sorry, both the same. Anyway, when he said, Adam, where art thou? He knew where he was at.
Right.
He wanted him to tell him, you know? And so I had to learn where you were. So when I'm like, Nisha, you good? You can't tell me nothing different. Because I'm like,
Good. That okay, this is my opportunity to express how I'm
mm,
feeling at the
that's
time,
good.
instead of just saying, I'm good,
Right. That ain't going to work.
because
Because
you know
9
you're
out of
not.
10, 10 out of 10, if I say, are you good? You ain't good.
Right.
Right? And you
Exactly.
have to know me to know that. And that's, like you said, the opportunity is always open. So you have to have that. It didn't matter what time it was. It didn't matter. Even sometimes if, texting me in the middle of the night,
Right.
you know, it's real. I always said, God, if it's for me to be awake to see it, that's fine. But at least you're able to get it out.
Exactly.
So when I'm able to see it, I'm like, okay, respond? Nah, not respond. See
Right.
it? No. Okay, no, not to this one. And it helps you to navigate, because you know me and I know you, type thing.
Right.
It's called reciprocal relationship.
Yes.
You have to have someone that you can have a reciprocal relationship with when it comes to grief, because grief is really, again, a place that can take you out or to make you better. It can
Exactly.
take you out or take you up.
That
One,
part.
yeah,
Was going to be one or
one or
the
the
other.
other. So it's important that you know where you are. Um, it's important that when you are going through the grief as well, that you be honest with yourself.
Yes.
Um, Honesty helps heal you.
Mm. Yeah.
Honesty helps uh, develop that wholeness
Mm.
that you lost.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, this is
Wow.
real for me right
Wow.
now. Like, being honest of where you are, not making up, not fabricating, not suppressing it, but really being honest of where you are. It helps to develop and to help build that wholeness back again. There was a hole in your heart when you lose someone. Something is snatched or taken from you. You
Yes.
feel you feel the void.
Absolutely.
So in my mind, I'm just getting a visual of like a hole there.
Mm.
So when you are honest, when you are open, when you are verbal, when you're
Yes.
not suppressing, really developing that place of wholeness again.
Wow. That's good.
And although you can miss, and you'll always have those moments of reflection, but it's a whole place. It's a place of healing. It's a place of do that.
Yes.
I really got through this. And sometimes some people holes are bigger than others.
Absolutely.
Some people have those like major crushes, like for real. But it depends on the person. But when you're honest and you're open to express, and you're able to reflect health in a healthy way
Yes.
to those who are going to actually be able to have your back for real, it actually feels
Yes.
that void. It fills that
The
hole,
whole.
and
Yes.
eventually you'll be able to feel that sense of I can live, I can do this, and I can. Like I can live for real. I can trust again.
Wow.
I can move for real. I remember when right after your mom passed and God was speaking to me about you, and I said that God was saying, Nisha, it's time for you to live.
Yes.
So many people don't realize that they are not even living because you were existing with under someone else's life.
Yes.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
wow.
Like you were literally trying to operate in someone else's life
Wow.
and you were not living. So all those years, I would say it by myself, for real. Like you take care of this one, you take care of that one, you take care of this one, take care of that one. And you're like, wait a minute, when them people are gone, you're like, whoa,
What am I going to do?
what am I going to do? See, that's when you know that's a problem. Because that means what was you doing before? Existing, playing out with someone else's life.
Wow.
While you were just operating a place of, I'm here. And now God has removed, when he removes certain things from your life or certain people, or whether it's people or job, whatever, when he removes those things from your life, you get like this light bulb.
Yes.
You get a light bulb, like, whoa. I told you before when we first did the show, and I asked God, I was like, God, what am I gonna do now? Like, what's gonna happen now? Whatever. He's like, I'm the same God, right? I'm the same God that was with you then. I'm gonna be with you now. Yeah. And so I was like, oh yeah, my bad. I mean, you are God. Like, was I not trusting you before? Like, what was I doing before? Am I right? It was here. Wow. And it gives you this light bulb like, wow, was I really even living out what I was called to do? What I was created to do?
No.
Right. Sometimes we're not. And so I remember hearing God saying, tell her it's time for her to live. Nisha has to live her life. You was like, what does that look like?
Exactly.
Go ahead.
I had no clue how to live my life. Like she said, I took care of my father, took care of my brother and my mother at the same time. And mind you, my brother is in a nursing home. My mom is in the beginning stages of dementia. And I live 2 hours away. So I'm driving every weekend even during the week, to take care of him, take care of my mom, to the point where I moved back. And even in that, I still didn't know who I was. So when God said that, I'm like, okay, what does that look like?
Yeah.
First off, who is Nisha at this point? Because you become engulfed in everybody else's life but your own. So when God is saying, live your life, and I think even up to a year ago, I was still trying to figure that out. Trying to still figure out, okay, what does life look like for Anisha?
Yeah.
And so now I'm actually in the process of living life.
Yeah.
And it's just not like living life out there in the world, living life in Christ, living life, having that even more intimate time with him, being able to hear him even the more, have that closeness with him even the more, because living life is, life could be life, but God could be God. Or live your life the God way.
Yeah.
So learning to live all over again, learning who you are is important. It's really crucial to know who you are in Christ.
Yeah.
So
you had to learn what you like.
Yes.
I was like, Nisha, what's your favorite color? Like, what you like? And so I was like, when she started putting purple chairs at the counter, I was like, that's the color you want in your kitchen? Okay. But you know what? That's good, because that's what you like.
Right.
And see, back before, they've been like, Nisha, they ain't the thing, right? But it's what Nisha likes. And what Nisha would do and what you like to do. You didn't realize what you like to do.
Right.
Because And let me share this with the caretakers, the caregivers,
That's important.
right?
Yes.
I want to say get it right, because there's a difference between a caretaker and a caregiver. I ain't gonna get into that tonight. That's a whole nother subject. Glory to God. But to the caregivers, that the grief starts in the process of you actually taking care
Yes.
of the person that are no longer now here. So you're going through that whole process. And so that's a whole nother story, another time that we can actually come back and do a whole series on that, because the caregiving for real is you grieving while taking care of them.
Absolutely.
And don't even know you're doing it because you're so busy taking care
of them.
Like, that's real, and how, like, even in that process, what was you feeling? I know you said you knew your mom was sick. You knew that she was not well. You knew she wasn't going to be here long. So what helped you? How was you in that process of taking care of her? Like, how did you get through that?
One of the ways I got through it is I had people helping me. And that's important for a caregiver. You have to have that time where you can walk away, get away. I would take flights down here to Texas for a weekend, where either my godmother, my god sister, or a cousin would come for the weekend and stay with mom. Because if you're constantly there, you totally lose yourself. Because you're so engulfed in making sure that that person is okay, making sure they have all their wants and all their needs, making sure that they eat, that they're bathed, so you pretty much not lose you, but you don't take care of yourself as you should. I would remember when I would come down for the weekend, I would feel rejuvenated, like, all right, I'm ready. I could go back. I could finish. I could keep going, doing what I'm doing, because it gave me that time, and that time where I'm like, you get to that little point where you get a little low, but you know that, okay, I need. You're getting what you need at
self-care,
right?
you need the self-care. And I think sometimes we as human beings, we feel like, or we've been made to feel like, if we're not there, we don't care.
Right.
That is not true. That is not true. Truth be told, when you take time out for you, that lets you know that, first of all, you do not healthy. You're not taking care of yourself. How can you effectively take care of the person that you're caring for?
And that's like what you said, taking care of yourself, because while mom was in hospice, we were on the phone, and you looked at me, you said, "What's wrong?" And I'm breathing hard, because I'm not, at this point, I wasn't taking care of myself.
Yeah.
And so not taking care of yourself can, let's say it like this, I could have been taken out along with my mom passing.
Or before. Can I let me interject for a sec? So I flew in.
Yes.
I flew in. I came back Friday. I did my service on Sunday. I flew back there Sunday night to get to you. And when you came to the steps, I said, "You good? Like, you good? What's going on with you?" And you looked so pale. Now, your response was that you didn't feel well because you was breathing hard, right? And so I was like, "You didn't go to the hospital." And your mind.
No.
So I'm saying to myself, well, if you don't leave her, I know nobody's hearing that, but if you don't leave her, then they're going to find you lay out on the floor. You went to the hospital. When I got there, I sent you to the hospital.
Yes.
Your blood was a 4. Yes, I will never forget it if I be 100. Your blood count was a 4. Okay, let me say it one more time. Blood count was a 4. That's grave right there.
Yes.
Had you probably went another day without going to the hospital to get 3 pints of blood, you were in hospital for 3 days.
Yes.
Getting pints and pints of blood. So You have to take care of yourself. And that's why it's important people that's on your side, on your team. That's why if you are someone and you know someone that is doing, that's a caregiver, you need to make sure that you are right there, or you send someone their way. Help them for real, because it's important, because they need that. Make sure they have the strength to be able to take care of the patient well.
Absolutely.
Because that's important, because you just never know. Check on them. Ask them how. I think we talk literally every single day, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 times a day.
We did.
And if I wasn't there, I was on the phone with you. Okay? Unless I flew Frontier and they didn't have Wi-Fi. But that's another story. Glory to God. All right? But I'm just saying, I had to do Frontier sometime, because them flights were going crazy. All right? But I was American, and I don't fool with American, but I'm a Southwest girl. But that's another story. All right. Anyway. So, but seriously, I would tell anybody, make sure that you check on the caregivers.
Absolutely.
Check on them. Give them a moment. Give them some time. Let them have a me day.
Even if it's just them going.
Even if it's a couple of hours to get out and have some fresh air, to do something. I promise you, it'll help.
I remember. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
When Aunt Tony came, and we both was taking care of Mom at that time. And as soon as she got, you said, "Okay, I got this. You two go out."
She did. She kicked us out. Aunt Tony, you kicked us out the house. Aunt Tony kicked us out the house. We was like, but wait a minute. But what if something happened? We got to get back. So you do have those moments that you, okay, because you don't want to miss a moment, if you don't want to not be there, right. You don't want to leave here alone, whatever. And Aunt Tony was like, we got this. I said, y'all go. I said, oh wow, okay. It was a good thing. And if I was like, and that food was so good. Go ahead. It was so good.
Gosh.
We had that seafood. It was a thing. I can't remember what it called.
It was good though.
It was so good, y'all. We're gonna think about it later. We'll tell y'all later about it. But
oh my God, I could see the mall and everything where we were.
It's terrible. That's that 49.
49.
That 49. Come on, 49. 49 will get you, y'all. That's okay. We're going to be sharp at 50. Don't worry about us. All right. 49 just got us, though.
Real quick.
Camera. Man.
49 was rude.
It's just embarrassing. All right. Anyway. But y'all, we, that's so real, y'all. I want you to know that it's so important. It's so important. Because, again, grief starts before a passing, and before a loss, before something that you know that's going to go away. People that have lost their jobs, right? Before they lost their job, they knew they was coming. People, I'm sure, even now, they're having anxiety. That's grief. That's the beginning of grief, because you're like, if I'm gonna go to work today, they're gonna tell me I gotta go. Those kind of things happen, and so it's important that you have that support system, that support team that have your back. If it's one good, it's about who's assigned to you. That's important. Right? That's important to you. Who's assigned to even the person that you're caring for.
Yes.
That's real. That's real. I understood that my assignment. Listen, and it may be uncomfortable.
Wow.
I mean, it wasn't the 5-star hotel. It wasn't. I'm not coming for no. I'm just saying no shit because it's a nice house. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't a 5-star hotel. It wasn't my own room, my own bathroom, my own. I had my own room, but I didn't have my own bathroom. So it was. It may not always be comfortable, but when you really care, that doesn't bother you. Your assignment is to be there to help, so you can make the grief much lighter and easier to get through.
And you did just that.
Yeah, and just being able to be there, to be able to be there. So that's so important. So I really hope that those who are watching tonight get something out of it on both ends.
Right.
Whether you are one that cares for the person, or one that knows someone that cares for the person. And let me say this, because we say this all the time, and it just doesn't always work. It's the same comment you heard at every funeral. at every home going, if you ever need me,
Yes.
I'm just a phone call away. If you ever need, let me tell you something. If you're going to say that, do that.
That part.
If
Be
you're
that.
going to say that, be that. When it's because saying that, not being that, is real.
It is.
Now, that's why it's important to know that you also have to make sure that you call, that you get that you keep that connection. Because people do go through life, and this life continues to go, right? Uh, Although you snatched my Lord, life is life and God is God. But that's okay. I'm gonna let you go in there. I'm gonna
I
hashtag
learned it
myself.
from
Glory to God.
you.
All right. Anyway, but while life, is still
Right.
going on with people, God is still allowing you to be, God is still being God, right? But at the same time, you have to do your part.
Yes.
And when you do your part, the person that you are calling need to do their part. Yikes. All right, that's real, and it's not always about finances or anything. It's about
Right.
your ear to hear what is being said because you just want to talk to somebody.
Yes.
I check on some people. I check on them for like at once a week after things are over for a certain amount of time, just because I want to make sure they're good, and then I'll be random. Because I understand that, when everything is going on, everybody want to tell you, they good, they going through whatever case it be. Listen, and I'm going to go here sidebar. When my brother passed away in December, I made a vow to my siblings that I would talk to them and like I was going to communicate with them more often. And I do. It's April and we talk at least once a week.
Wow.
Now, some others talk to me more than once a day, but I ain't going to call certain people out. Eric. Anyway, so Ron. Anyway, so
Right.
I'm
It's
just saying,
true.
like I ain't throw nobody underneath the bus, but that's okay. They might need, they need a big sis. It's all good. They good. All right. But seriously, but that's helpful for me as well. Because I'm able to know that I still have siblings in the earth that I can actually contact or that helps me to get through my grief.
And that's important because you have siblings to help you get through.
Mm-hmm.
I lost my siblings.
Yeah.
So I didn't have that sibling to actually lean on.
Right.
But trust and believe God puts people in your life.
There you go. There we go.
You can lean on, you could cry on.
Yeah. And he'll give you other siblings. Not the same. They're not replacing them. But God gave you a whole family of siblings, sisters, and brothers that genuinely love you. Yeah. So some of them still call you Aunt Niche. That's kind of weird because you're 49, you know what I'm saying? But it's all good. Wanye. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's a good thing. I'm name dropping in the live is crazy.
It'll be all right.
But it's all good, right? It's all good. And so, but at the same time, it's good to have people. Yes. It's good to have support. It's good to have people that love you and people that surround you. Again, if you're the kind of person that likes to be like you're an introvert and you don't like a lot of people around you, that's fine. That's fine. However, you need somebody.
Absolutely.
You need everybody, Lottie and Dottie, need somebody. Everybody does, right? Because we're not an island.
That's right.
All right. It's okay to have your side time and your moment time. All your introverts is great. I have introvert moments, but I'm an extrovert all day. I just like people. I like to go over but at the same time, I have my introvert moments where I want some time to myself.
Right.
However, I understand that it is not good to be alone. It's not good. All right. Don't stay there because the idle mind is the devil's workshop. We got a few more minutes, but I'm gonna get this out. The idle mind, when you start getting by yourself, and now you start to talk, that's depression.
It's real.
That depression, it's now coming to the place where the enemy is taking over your mind. You don't want that. No. That is not healthy. That is not what your loved one wants you to do.
That's not life.
That is. There you go. That's not life. There it is. That's not living.
Exactly.
That's not living. And it's so important that you take those moments that you had and you make life out of them.
Yes.
You allow life to continue. You continue to go on and and be who God has called you to be, and still be able to remember and love and reflect and talk about it, laugh about.
Yes.
My mother called me the other day. She said, how, what would Larry say about, how would Larry do it again? Like, people do that to me all the time. He's like, what would Larry say it again? How would Larry say it? Because they know I know how to talk like my husband before he passed. Like, I know how to say it, because I'm like, boo, listen, it's your mother. You know how she is. Just shut them soup coolers, boo. Golly, boo, listen. You already know that's how she gonna say it. So ain't nobody ask your partner boy. So when we do that, it's like you laugh, because it's like, you know him, you hear that, you laughing, because you like, that sounds just like him. I tell my daughter, I say all the time, I'm like, if I would be saying, Ashley, listen, that's your problem. You don't want to listen. I need for you to be quiet so I can say something, So it'd be so cute, because I'm like, those are good memories.
Yes.
Have those moments. Laugh, joy. Let them laugh till you cry. And then you have each other to be with you, but don't seclude yourself.
Yes.
Don't put yourself in a box. Don't shut the world out. All right? Live. Live. All right? So live. All right? That's important to do, is to live. All right? And so I hope y'all tonight enjoyed. I enjoyed you.
I enjoyed you.
I didn't think I was going to enjoy you tonight, but I did. I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you. I'm just serious. But listen, y'all. No, I'm just messing. Y'all. That's our relationship. That's how we do. But I really enjoyed you tonight. And I know we have so much more we can share, we can say. But this was good. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful for this opportunity. It makes it much better when you have somebody with you, talking to you, talking with you, talking to, and all that kind of good stuff. But I pray tonight that you all were blessed. I pray that you all truly received tonight something that would help you to get through your process. It's good to laugh. It's good to cry. And it's also good to have your moments. But please, whatever you do, have that good support team around you. Have that go into seclusion, all right? Because seclusion can cause suicidal thoughts and everything like that. We don't want those. We don't want to, we don't want to entertain the enemy or the inner you. If you hear those negative thoughts, reject them. You have the power to reject them. You have the authority. You have the ability to reject those thoughts that are negative, that are contrary to life. That's contrary to living life. It's so important that even after death, that you live and begin to love yourself again, and to begin to love again, and to be able to love others. Because sometimes you lose, whatever you're going through, whatever that thing is, whatever that grief is coming from, just know that it's life after that. It's life after that, and you could continue to live and process. It's very important that while you're going through the process, that you don't dwell on the process, but you trust the processor. You allow him to guide you through. You allow him to be that comfort. He says, I will not leave you comfortless. So even in your grief, he's a comfort. He will take you, but you have to call on him. You have to receive him. And not only receive him just in the spirit, but you have people that he will love you through. He will love you through people. He will love you through situations in your life that you could never fathom. So take those moments and allow God to love on you, even in this moment. We are praying for you. We are praying for your families. We are praying for your loved ones. We're just praying. I'm praying. I don't even have to know your name, but I'm praying for you. If you need a prayer request, or you want to talk, if you want to share, you want to just be able to release, Listen, you can always email me at loveafterloss25@gmail.com. I'm also in the process of being the grief coach. You can always go in to the grief coach. Is the grief coach 25@gmail.com. There's going to be more information coming out for that, for my website and everything like that as well. So just stay tuned. But if you need me right away, you have a messenger. Come on, you have ways you can call, you can contact me at. But again, loveafterloss25@gmail.com. I will reach back out to you immediately. You can also dial 817-832 832-7225. If you leave a message or a text, I will respond to you. All right. That is the Grief Coach line and the Love After Loss line. You can reach out to that number. I promise you, there's talk to you. Someone that you can speak to is someone that cares. And I am that one that God has assigned in this moment if you're listening. All right. God bless you all. Listen, thank you again, Nisha.
Thank you.
Thank you. And not only for myself, if you have some other people that you want to call, but I'm letting you know now that someone is here. I can't speak for everybody else, but I can speak for me. All right. God has somebody in the earth that will make sure that you are not alone. All right. God bless y'all. Thank y'all again. Thank you again. I love y'all. Thank y'all for joining us for Love After Loss. I will see y'all again soon. God bless you in Jesus' name. Mwah. Love y'all.